So now, without any further delay, let me introduce our chief guest for the day, Mr. Sumnesh Joshi, Deputy Director General, Joint Secretary Level, Government of India, Ministry of Communications, Government of India. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Joshi? Mr. Sumnesh Joshi is an officer from Indian Telecom Service Cadre and at present is posted as Deputy General at Joint Secretary level in Ministry of Communications at Mumbai. He is working in area of communication, expanding 5G use cases, IoT and implementation, the policies to ensure smooth rollout of telecom network by service providers. He has also been made nodal officer for monitoring of 4G network saturation project in east and west region of the country. He worked with Uday as a first officer at Uday Regional Office Mumbai in April 2010 as a part of the founding team under leadership of Mr. Nandal Neelkani. He was instrumental to roll out the implementation of biometric-based digital identity Aadhaar project in Maharashtra, Goa, Dadra Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. Mr. Joshi is an officer of 1993 batch of Indian Telecom Service and has over 25 years of experience at various positions in Government of India. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Ganiskill, for inviting me here, for sharing my experience, and for the elaborated my introduction. But I'm just one of you, serving from the government side, and you all are the experts. And I'm here. I interacted a few of you that to take the feedback basically, and what else we can do and how we can shape further the policies with respect to the information security. And so I will not take much of the time. See, we all know the digital ecosystem that we have already created, and every day data is getting generated. And of course, there is a convenience. We are making applications or innovating using this digital ecosystem and making the last mile empowered to consume the services in a paperless, presenceless, and the cashless manner. That is nowhere in the world, that I can say with the proud. So many countries are after us that how we are delivering service. But nothing has come free, or it's not as smooth, because there is a convenience, but there is always a threat, and we are seeing that the threats are increasing, continuously. There's a 20-time increase in the last 10 years in the number of cyber threats that we are receiving and or cyber crimes. So I see this from the two sides. One is, of course, from the information security within the organization where you are working. And second is from the consumer side, the external world, from where, this data leakage or threats are coming and phishing messages are going, and, all the frauds are happening. Because we are all seeing this, all this messages are coming, or phones are coming, that digital arrest or narcotics, the lotteries or financial fraud. So many things are happening. And now how to, curb all these things? Because there's a data leak. Because when you purchase something, the data is getting leaked and something is coming, the same product, same price, and you are receiving the product, then actually you are finding there's nothing, it's a garbage. The actual product will come after, say, 10 hours or 12 hours. So because data is immediately getting leaked. You purchase something from a very trusted website, but still the data is getting leaked. And they win the trust. They say, oh, you have purchased from my website, you are now eligible for this lucky draw. And many people will believe, because it's a linkage, because I keep, buying from that particular website, so I have a faith. So, the data, security is very important nowadays, because data is getting generated from everywhere. So the entire journey, right from the collection of the data, the transmission, then storing and processing, everywhere when data is moving, that we have to ensure that it should not get leaked, or it should be used for the purpose that we have collected. So one learning that, I have learned in the Aadhaar ecosystem, that the minimalistic data, that is, so in general, I can say that please take the data which you require. It's not that you collect all the data that is not required. Sometimes, there's the application form, we collect 20 fields, but actually for delivery of the service, you require all 10 fields. So now you are burdening your entity with remaining 10 fields that is of no use for you. And when the DPDP Act will come, the burden is on you. Why to take risk? So we have to, revisit all these things. Yes, what we are collecting actually is required, or maybe in future it is going to be required. So that we have to see very carefully, because otherwise, unnecessarily, we are collecting this digital garbage in our system and loading it. And another learning is that, in the system, that of course you must be doing, but we have to see what is the sensitive or the critical information. So, for example, in Aadhaar, it is mandated that you can keep the Aadhaar in a digital vault. And there's a separate HSM and digital data vault. And in the business database, either use the reference key or minimum data. So it's not that everyone can access the sensitive data. So this is how, we can design the system that, yes, all the important parameters, we can use some alias or reference numbers in your business database. And blockchain, of course, now, maybe we have been hearing about the blockchain, but now it's high time we should adopt it. And now people are realizing the potential of the blockchain, actually. Now people are talking about the tokenization, asset tokenization, right? And how we can use, because right from the application to the delivery of the services, the data is booming. If we have the blockchain, so no one can tamper the data, and no one can misuse the data, and it will create the trust. And maybe all of you have heard the term that has been coined, and Mr. Nilekani has spoken in the Global FinTech Festival, and just 2 days before also in one of the events he was speaking about the Finternet, right? It's all, so tokenization of all type of assets, and maybe the user-centric or universal. So you can, transact, globally using that, tokenization, and use best of the cryptography. And so in future, we can think these type of system where we can win the trust of the customer also. And another point is this multi-factor authentication, because when we are using the artificial intelligence to calculate the risk associated with a delivery of the service. But now, depending upon the risk, we have to provide the authentication level. So there are certain things that we can have a multi-factor authentication. It's not only the PIN-based or the card-based, or maybe only one biometric attribute. You can have a multiple biometric attribute. And we are hearing, in the customer side, that in Aadhaar-enabled payment system where fingerprint is being used for the financial transaction, so gummy fingers are there. So now, we have to, again, UID is using the IML-based algorithm to detect the liveliness. But now, the palm-based biometric has also been introduced. Now, people are using that palm-based, is the contactless, and because I was there in the Singapore FinTech Festival, and I saw that some of the companies have launched this palm-based, and it's a very smooth and contact-based. So, we have to weigh cost and what type of security and customer convenience, all these things we have to use. And so, use of AI is very important, because, whatever the data we have collected as a legacy, for future, of course, you have to collect the proper validated data, the quality data. But whatever you have collected, we have to clean the system also. So I will give the example of the telecom, that 1.2 billion customer application forms or the data is there. So using the artificial intelligence, it was found that, multiple mobile connections have been taken on the same face, right? Maybe initially because the paper-based, it was not Aadhaar-based eKYC. So the misuse of all the KYC document happened. So that using the AI algorithm, using the face deduplication and the fuzzy logic, or all these tools, we are able to weed out around 2.6 crore, mobiles that we have deactivated. And continuously we are taking the feedback through the customers also, right? There is a Sanchar Sati portal, so one can say, okay, know your mobile numbers also, if you, how many mobiles have been allotted to you. So that also, we are taking the feedback and cleaning the system, taking this data. So why telecom? All other entities can use these type of tools to clean their legacy database. Because in AI, when you are using all the tools, quality matters, because it's not the ready-made tool that you can simply, maybe the same algorithm working for the X company will work for the Y company. No. You have to train the same algorithm with your data, then only you will get the best result. If data is not of the good quality, then result is always bad. Because I was reading somewhere that in the one AI tool has been developed in the human resource development, and that was bias, towards the men and not giving the proper output with respect to women. Because all the data has been given, all the resumes, everything is the men. So this is how you have trained the machine. So you have to, ensure that how you are training the machine. So data quality is, again, I say that, of course, you must be taking care, but this is what I have seen. Then IoT is going to, come in a big way, so lots of data will come. So then again, we have to ensure that data at the source, how we can encrypt, how we can take the data in our system. Otherwise, if you are not taking care, then the result, we don't know what type of result will come, and maybe someone can tamper the data. Because the other side is very smart. They are finding the ways how to intrude in your system. So it's a game, but we have to be one step ahead always. This is what, the duty of the CISOs or all the, security persons. And then coming to this one, trusted hardware also. Because when we use the hardware, so specifically in the telecom industry, we have mandated that all the telcos and the ISPs should use the trusted hardware that is validated by the MHA. So, we can ensure that whatever data is going through those devices cannot be hacked or cannot go somewhere else. So in private industry also now we should, maybe there is no mandatory from the government side, but you have to think that you have to use the trusted vendors, trusted source, all those devices. And from the telecom security, of course, already draft regulations are in place, and very soon we are going to notify it also that how one can protect or the security of the telecom establishment. But the same thing, because telecom is the now foundation. And everyone using the same sort of internal communications, all the routers or your network, etc. So you have to secure from the hardware side also. And of course, it's again our duty is not only from the internal side to educate our customers that how to have a best cyber hygiene, right? Where to give the data, where to not to give the data. So, and if something has happened, typically in the financial sector. So we know that 1930 is 30 minutes golden window. If you can report, there are chances that you will get the money back. And if you lost your mobile, or whether your mobile is genuine or not, so all these things, and you are getting a call from the Indian number, but actually it is coming from the international. So all these things that we have already taken care. So and all the SMS and URLs, whitelisting of the URLs, so all. Government has issued the instruction, TRI has issued the instruction. So we are also working towards that, but it's your role also very important to educate your customers that don't get fooled by any call or any message or any email. Because what's happening in the ecosystem that they have a lot of data about you. And the way they talk, now they are very highly sophisticated. They will say, okay, sir, you are not free, I will call you later. What is the convenient time? So you don't know whether they just look like that. Actually, they are going to help you. And then you fall in the trap, right? This is how they are working. And finally, I will tell that because the DPDP Act, all that's already been passed, and anytime it may be announced that it's going to be implemented. So, the many entities are waiting that, okay, when it will be announced, then we will work. But please, you start working, whether the act the date will be announced or not, but the best practices. You have to follow all these things, so you start working, right? And make your architecture or design, and all consent-based architecture should be in place, so we can be foolproof, and anytime the government will say it's going to be launched, so no problem. So we are ready. So all the best for the conference, and I think we will learn a lot, because I have seen the agenda. Good panel discussion, and they are very stalwart speakers. So again, all the best for this conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights. I would like to call upon stage Mr. Priyanshu Khandwala from Sun Pharma to do the honors.